It's really a shame Tracy McGrady's career was beset by so many injuries, robbing us of his prime years as one of the best scorers the NBA had ever seen. And because of that, he's quickly being forgotten as each year passes, but we need to remember what he could do, since in all my years of watching the NBA, I'd never seen anybody score as easily as the one they called T-Mac. Now, before you go looking up his career field goal and three-point percentages and start yelling at me that he didn't score that easy, I'm just telling you that he's a guy who was effortless in his ability to put the ball in the basket. He liked to hang in the air on his jump shot, which would certainly lead to plenty of inconsistency, but he had so many moments when he got going, and it was almost like there wasn't anyone playing defense on him, despite being up in his grill and contesting to the point of just about blocking the shot. McGrady was a bit of a missing link in the NBA, a connection to the glory days of the 80s when small forwards posted up a ton. Guys like Adrian Dantley and Larry Bird would be at the top of the league in scoring back then, and McGrady was so long that he had a size advantage almost every time. You can see a good example of how the defense just didn't matter with his turnaround high release. The post-up was a way to get him a 12-footer. Even when they had a guy close to his size, like Rick Fox here, they knew exactly how to get it to him. And again, it becomes an open 12-foot layup. But what I particularly liked about his postgame is how quickly he attacked on the catch. How are you supposed to stop this turnaround? And check how he lifts both feet in the air while rotating to face up. Then the jab step gets an opening to the middle before they're forced to foul him. If you're a young player, add this move to your arsenal today. There was none of this 5 dribble in plays back you down stuff. He'd face up immediately and check the shot fake with the right foot load. Perfect way to explode by your man, and again, they're forced to put him on the line. But McGrady did a ton of damage from the perimeter in the pick and roll as well, which is the bridge to the modern game we know so well now. This might look very familiar as they hunt the worst defender to force a switch and watch McGrady hit Christian Laettner with a smooth crossover, stutter step, step back from 19 feet that just tickles the twine. I still can't get over how easy it looked for McGrady to score. And while you might not be able to fill it up on the court as easily as he did, imagine an online tool that helps you find promo codes, then automatically adds them to your cart, as easy as a T-Mac finger roll. That's where Honey comes in. When a little box drops down and all you have to do is click Apply Coupons. Pizza has been my go-to while we all stay at home, and I'm honestly blown away by how easy this is and how much money I can save. You can shop at over 30,000 online stores. It's got over 100,000 5-star reviews, and you're literally passing up free money if you don't get Honey now. It's free and installs in just 2 clicks when you go to joinhoney.com/Coach Nick. No need to thank me. Just go to joinhoney.com/Coach Nick, and you'll not only save money, but time, which frees you up to watch more footage of Tracy McGrady getting double-teamed on this pick and roll. Notice how it doesn't even faze him. He just patiently waits for another ball screen to his left, then crosses over the second defender before swooping in for the finger roll. He loved going to his left, which makes sense because righties have their shooting hip and elbow already aligned to the hoop, and his stop and pop mid-range game was almost automatic. The frustrating thing about watching some of these pick and rolls was how often he'd end up shooting right in front of the three-point line. Here's a nice set Doc Rivers ran for T-Mac called Zipper, where McGrady would zipper cut to the top of the key for the easy catch, and the weak side pin down turns into a pick and roll. He was never in a hurry, always under control, but get behind the line, man, and get that extra point. Same play, and this time, after the cutter goes backdoor, they run pinch post action. Well defended and contained, so the offense would naturally gravitate back to McGrady on the perimeter. Just look how helpless Jared Jeffries is on this pull-up with the and one. They kept running zipper since if it ain't broke, don't fix it, but McGrady finds space to cut to the wing instead, and he finally got his feet behind the line for the three-point shot. We did get glimpses of what could have been a modern version of McGrady as he gets the ball screen high enough to enable him to step into a three-point shot here. And you can see how guys waving at him from close distance didn't faze him much at all as he drops in another three-point bomb out of the pick and roll. Imagine how many more points he'd have scored utilizing this spacing a lot more. Scorers at his level also utilize the isolation quite a bit, but these still tended to be out of the flow rather than grinding the offense to a screeching halt. His jab step game was certainly a throwback, and he could rise up from a standstill and hit these tough ones. He basically treated these like post-ups, facing up on the smaller guard against the zone and just rising up as if he didn't even care that the defense was on him. Of course, in this game where he scored 62 points, he was feeling it, so we got an aggro ISO in transition. Check the through the legs, behind the back, swivel step hezzy, then snatch into the shot. These are the things we see James Harden do regularly, and we have McGrady to thank. What I think I appreciated most about his game is his willingness to operate inside the offense to get shots. He doesn't force the pick and roll, instead sprinting off a handoff to find a three-pointer, again, as if there wasn't any defense there. And he'd fill the lane in transition to the corner, getting this look generated by his teammates finding him. He had a way of eluding his defenders too, sliding off this pick to the open spot and hitting the wide open jumper. And here's another throwback, the shot fake one dribble pull-up. While it's a beauty, nowadays he would have sidestepped and stayed behind the three-point line. While McGrady liked to glide around the court smoothly, there was no denying his incredible athletic ability. When he needed it, he could uncork a staggering display of athleticism that would remind you of Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant, with an assortment of finishing packages around the rim that would make you just shake your head in amazement. One thing I caught in this clip of his jump shot is the rhythm he generated off the dribble. Notice how his knees are bent and completely loaded before the ball has begun to swing up into the shot. That is perfect. At this point, he'll hang in the air and make this a two-motion shot, which is the suboptimal part and would have led to a lot of the streakiness we saw throughout his career. In the 02-03 season, we got an early glimpse of what the NBA was to become, as he took over 6 threes a game and averaged over 32 a game plus 5.5 assists. Sadly, Grant Hill was broken down for much of that season, and they didn't have much else. And yet, McGrady carried the Magic to 7 games against a team that would win the title a year later. And who can forget when he led the Houston Rockets back from an 8-point deficit by scoring 13 points in 33 seconds, with one shot more improbable than the next. But sadly, this was one of his last hurrahs before the injuries sidelined him for huge stretches during the rest of his career. To add to his impressive resume, he made the Hall of Fame in 2017, which is quite a testament considering he only had 7 seasons where he played at least 70 games. But that was a lucky number, since he made the All-Star team 7 times and was voted All-NBA 7 times as well. Without question, it was his ability to score so easily that left an indelible impression on so many people's minds despite the injuries and earned him a place among the pantheons of all-time greats. Of all the players from earlier eras that could have benefited the most from playing in the modern NBA, I'd probably nominate Tracy McGrady as the guy who would have gained the most from the spacing and the pace. It wouldn't be hard to imagine him taking 10 threes a game, hitting 40% of them, and posting up as well at a high percentage. So, the next time you get into an argument as to who was the easiest scorer in the NBA, you can mention the KDs and the Kareems all you like, but for me, it will always be Tracy McGrady.